Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just have one question for the Honourable Member, Mr. Murali Pillai, and that pertains to the reference he made in his speech about the earlier adjournment motion on the sunlight of scrutiny, and I will repeat the quotation, where the Honourable Member says, "It is important for each generation of political leaders and people to find their own equilibrium of what our people would accept without question, under what circumstances and towards what ends." Would the member not agree that the bill in question introduces an ouster clause? It is a new piece of legislation, and this is one more piece of legislation for which we have an ouster clause. And would the member also not agree that there has been no equilibrium sought from the people by virtue of an absence of public consultation as to whether this ouster clause has been considered by the public? Thank you.
Mr. Pillai.
Obliged, sir. I thank the Honourable Leader of Opposition for asking the question. And the question, as I understand, posed to me, is whether there has been an equilibrium reached within the present generation of political leaders and the people of Singapore on the matter involving FICA, which contains an ouster clause. The point I wish to make is this. In my earlier speech in March 2021, I'd already stated that when it comes to issues of national security, a different approach should be taken. I found instructive the speech made by Professor Jayakumar about why the powers dealing with national security should be cited with the political leaders. So in my personal view, the equilibrium is still the same vis-a-vis FICA, because here we are dealing with issues of national security. Additionally, I would add that FICA doesn't contemplate detention without trial. And FICA, the powers of FICA, is actually quite targeted. What you see here are powers that are already reposed with the executive. And in the, as I said earlier in my speech, the focus of FICA is to give targeted powers so that you could better protect national interests. So in those circumstances, I would say, having regard to the fact that this is an area that has been traversed and the need to provide targeted directives, the equilibrium that we have in ISA would be the equilibrium that I'm comfortable with vis-a-vis FICA, and there's no contradiction.
Leader of the Opposition? No, just cleaning. Okay.